Hey, it's all about quality, not about quantity. Right? Let's get back to another round of Brewsday Tuesday with DreZ and Huck.
Huck's favorite rejoin.
Yeah, we really got to change that because it's really all about quantity.
If you want to write some new rejoins,
it's all about quantity, not quality.
I beg to differ. It is Brewsday Tuesday.
1980 beer, but go ahead and beg.
Powered by Fatback Soul Shack. Yeah, but guess what? I didn't have a lot of that beer. Quantity was certainly not not a factor in that
exception of my rule there.
Yes. Either way, it's Brewsday Tuesday, Oktoberfest edition. We are celebrating the awesome month-long beer drinking
16 to 18
party.
Days. It originated when King. We found this out on this bottle of beer.
Yeah, this bottle of beer is very
King
informative.
Ludwig.
Speaking of which, Foothill's Oktoberfest is this bottle of beer we're referring to.
And they spell it with a K, which makes it hard to find on Untapped.
Oh, you're right.
But anyway,
Is
Ludwig.
that the proper way to spell Oktoberfest?
They do it.
It probably is, since they got like the history stuff on here. I bet that's how you're supposed to spell it. Is O-K-T.
That's how they spell it on the internet.
Yeah, so that's probably the right way to spell it.
So anyway, he says that King Ludwig, I guess, or Prince Ludwig, soon to be king of Germany, I guess, invented this beer, or he invented Oktoberfest because he got married in 1810 and invited the entire city of Munich, and they came, and then Oktoberfest was born along with this sweet dark amber lager. It sounds almost like somebody's girlfriend there. So it became the namesake of the annual celebration. So the R stays true to the classic style. So the classic style, then again, this must be a Marzen because that's the classic style.
But then they say an amber lager?
Well, it's an amber lager. I'm getting ready to make one, remember?
Marzens are an amber lager?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This one does look a little darker. A good bit darker, actually.
Yeah, actually, it tastes a good bit darker.
It does have... This has more of the Oktoberfest notes, and when you're drinking an Oktoberfest beer, this smells at least more like what you would think of on an Oktoberfest. A little darker, probably a little bit more malty.
I purposefully made this the second beer today because of how I rated it last year. And I suspected that we both might enjoy it heartily.
I'm assuming you rated it a hearty 5.
I did. So here, I looked up at during the break there while we were listening to that fine song by whoever that was. The Marzen is brewed in March, and because it was against the law, it's forbidden. I guess that means against the law. As a monarchy, somebody I forbid it.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I forbid my wife.
They didn't even have laws back then. They had forbidden.
Yeah, I tried to forbid my wife to do something one time that didn't work out.
It was forbidden.
So you couldn't brew beer between April and 24th April and 28th September. But actually, I know the reason why.
I was about to ask you why.
Yeah, I know the reason why. This is one thing I actually know because it's a lager. So lagers have to ferment at 50 degrees-ish. I know that's not exactly the temperature. And that's why they used to say back in the day, in America when we started brewing beer, that homebrew, you can only be a homebrewer if you were rich because homebrew brews around 75, 80 degrees normally, ales. So if you wanted, everybody could brew lagers because you just do them in the winter. And you put them in the basement, the rest of the house is 65 degrees, the basement's 50. Because you don't heat the basement. So traditionally, everybody would make lagers all winter, and then they would make ales in the spring and fall, but nobody made beer in the summer except people with air conditioning. Now people take freezers and put temperature controls on them, and they can lager all the time. I actually have a little belt that goes around my carboy and heats up the beer to keep it at proper 78 degrees while I'm fermenting ales year-round because I have both air conditioning and heat. So...
you always talk about your brews. How come we still haven't done one of your brews, have we?
Yeah, I think we started with my brews.
Yeah.
Our first show.
Maybe we need to go back to getting some of your brews on here.
Got some going in. So.
Yeah. If you got a good theme one or something, we'll maybe bring that back. And bring in, because I know a lot of people would want to try home brewing, and that would probably be a good show to talk a little bit more about how easy it is to set up your own little thing. And
it really is.
It's not that hard. It's just getting down the recipes and the
There's
finding the right mixture, right? And that the toughest
that's the easy part. The hard part,
because you can find the recipes online.
Yeah, you can
executing, keeping it clean,
cleanliness.
Yeah,
that's number one. But number two, if you can make soup, you can make beer. It's complicated. It's kind of like juggling sometimes because you got a lot going on and with boiling liquids and so forth. But it's really not that hard. You can make it as complicated as you want. But we've talked about Michael Jackson. He's like there's a beer Michael Jackson and music by Michael Jackson. The beer Michael Jackson
I was about to say,
was
what?
from England.
I don't remember talking about.
And he came to America, and people were telling about homebrew, and he's kind of the father of American homebrewing and American craft beer. And his saying was always, relax. When you mess up, you drop the yeast on the floor, and you had to scrape it up on a spatula and then put it in or whatever. Whatever happened. Things happen all the time. You drop, stuff falls in.
Just go with it.
Yeah, he says, relax, have a homebrew. It'll be all right. And I mean, my friends, people, actually my doctor actually texts me with beer questions, and I just say, relax, have a homebrew. It'll be fine. And it is. I've had his beer. It's good. So people make beer all the time. Just like, people make babies. It's easy. Just do it. Got to clean up.
Just relax.
Clean up. Relax.
Cleanliness is key.
But no, while you're making the beer, you're fine. Even, I mean, the thing is when you're making beer, it's boiling. It's like it's boiling. You can't get it infected. Mm-hmm. But once it stops boiling, then you got to have a clean room. Or at least be careful. They make this stuff. It's like Star Sand, and it's like OxyClean. You throw everything in there. You don't even have to rinse it or anything. It just automatically washes it. It's all sanitized, and then you can stir with it. But what people do is they forget, and they set it over there on that dirty counter. They didn't think about it. They didn't sanitize the counter, and they set the spoon down. And they pick it back up, stir it some more. Okay, now you got a problem.
Yeah.
And then once you get it into the fermenter, you have to stir it up and get it oxygenated to perfect atmosphere level, 21%.
All right.
Wait, no, they need to know. This is the next thing. After that, it can never see oxygen again until you drink it.
I was going to say.
And that's the other hard part.
We can delve into the mechanics of it on whatever show we decide to do that with. But in the meantime, let's get back to the Oktoberfest. Or let's get back more specifically to Foothills, man. What do you know about Foothills Brewing?
Well, Foothills is a North Carolina brewery, and it gets there in the foothills of North Carolina.
Winston-Salem.
Yep. And they've been around a while. And I was just kind of snickering early to myself because I'm like, this is an old school craft brewery in 2005, which doesn't sound that long ago.
But in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, in breweries, it's
11
old.
years, yeah.
They got 2 locations. They started with like a 15-barrel system, making 800 barrels a year. And now they make who knows how much. They have a huge warehouse they turned into brewery. And they make good beer. Their famous beer, I think, is the Sexual Chocolate. I
remember reviewing that one on Brewsday Tuesday.
So they're their famous beer. They make a lot of darker beers. People's Porter, not a fan. I mean, I'm just not a fan of darker beers. But a lot of people like the People's Porter. Getting into the gray area.
I like their. I know I've seen them on Tapped a lot. Because they always have that. That's their little. The F, I guess.
Yeah.
And I like it because to me, it looks like an R almost.
Yeah.
And the colors are kind of Redskins colors, so I always think like Redskins. Yeah. So I like to drink their beer on Sundays.
Losers? Just kidding.
Hey, they just beat the Giants.
Did they?
Yeah.
They beat the Giant Killers?
Yeah, Giant Killers, man. All so, right. If we had to lose a couple to, stay undefeated in the division, I'm happy with that.
Well, I think my team did all right last week.
Who's your team?
New England.
Wow.
They could put in like the Waterboys quarterback and they get a touchdown.
Jeez.
We were laughing.
Anywho.
Not so much the Texans.
So cool. You know anything more about Oktoberfest that we need to touch on?
There's some more beers out there. I mean, there really are a lot.
There's a ton. There's what are some other good recommendations that you got? Obviously, we got these ones, but we can't drink all the Oktoberfest beers on Brewsday Tuesday.
No, but I mean, if you go to any major breweries, I think there's a couple more in here actually.
Yeah, pop some more. What else did you bring?
So I got the Schlafly.
The Schlafly's Oktoberfest. Oh, I'm sure that's good. We had their pumpkin last week, which was amazing.
I have the Ballast Point.
So why did you opt for us to drink these two? The ones you grabbed?
Because my brother-in-law came by on Friday before the game, and we drank the other two.
So you didn't have enough.
So actually, I did some research, and I said, I wanted ones that got over 4.5 last year, and both of these did. And Foothills is semi-local. Bell's is famous. I'm sure there's a Virginia Oktoberfest that's probably good. But my theory on Virginia: until people start spending the night to wait for beer, we don't have a good brewery. And I think we're getting a couple though. The Vale, maybe. They haven't sent us any beer, even though I've gotten some of their beer. And then Adroit Theory up in Northern Virginia. The Vale's in Richmond, by the way, and people are spending the night, or at least getting up pretty early in the morning,
getting excited
for a
it.
Release.
Okay, that's good to hear.
Fortunately, the Huckster doesn't have to wait.
All right, well, let's go ahead and untap this bad boy.
Well, you already know my score.
You gonna give it a 5 again?
Mm-hmm. This is a really good beer. I mean, you look at the color. This is like looks like fine grain wood cabinets. It's got nice lacing, a nice head. It's got a little bit of a kick to it. I mean, not alcohol. It's only 5.8, but it's just delicious. I mean, it's just really delicious.
Yeah, 5.8 by volume. Thick. It's got 42 IBU. What's the SRM?
I don't know. SRM. What is SRM?
SRM. It says 30.1 SRM.
Give me a second on that. In the meantime, I'm giving it a 5.
You're giving it a 5. All right. Well, I'll throw mine in while you're trying to figure out what SRM is. A quick Wikipedia search will tell you that.
It will.
This one, like I said, it's much more of what you would stereotypically think of an Oktoberfest beer. It's that darker hue color, a nice, like you said, it is a nice color and a nice aroma. Frankly, I don't know. I might have liked the other one better. This one has a bit of what is that taste?
Bitterness at the end. There's a little bitterness. So it's a standard reference method referring to the color.
It's not the bitter that I'm talking about. There's just something about it. It almost has like a porter kind of a coffee type taste to it for some reason to me. I don't know. I'm liking the other one better. And if I give that one a 4, then by standards, I guess I got to give. Or actually, maybe that one should have gotten a 4.25 by the end of it, probably. So I'll give this one a 4. Maybe not 3.75. 3.75. It's good. Not amazing. Not amazing. I'm not blown away.
Right.
But that's just my taste on it. So Oktoberfest, there you go, man. Lots of great Oktoberfest beers to try, so we recommend you do so. Next week, we will have another special theme, because those of you that are listening in the NRV area know that Brewsday is set for October 8th at the Corporate Research Center. I think this is the 8th year that they've been doing it, so a nice long Brewfest, and you're going to be speaking there.
I am at 2 o'clock.
You're going to be chiming in, doing your thing. So we're going to be showcasing some Brewsday beers. So that'll be cool.
And the list is still being determined at this point.
So hopefully you'll at least find some off that
around.
list to do. I trust that you would be able to figure it out and bring in a couple good ones.
One issue is that some of the beers are, as we know, we refer to as keg only. They're usually better beers, so I may have to take my little growler out and do some begging, see if I can get 1 or 2 of those. Plus, a whole growler is a lot of beer.
Yeah.
So also have in my hand something here, DreZ.
Yeah, we'll have to figure out what to do with that.
So
later.
Listen to our promos this week.
Listen throughout the week, and you might be able to win your way in to Brewsday.
Yeah.
There's a tease for you. Anywho, Brewsday Tuesday, that's a wrap on it, man. Huck, as always, dude, I appreciate you coming in and sharing the beer with me.
Thanks for having me.
Always a good time. HucksBeerBuzz.com, Huck's Beer Buzz on Facebook, on Twitter, all that good stuff. And we do film it, and we put it on the YouTube channel of Huck. So if you want to check that out for sure. And, of course, shout out to Fatback Souls Shack. If you want some good old-fashioned Southern awesomeness.
Mercy, it's all good.
grab yourself a nice plate of some deliciousness from Fatback Soul Shack. They're at 118C off 81. You can't miss it. We're literally right as soon as you pop off the exit. It's right there. And they got some great food and great beers to go with it. So shout out to them. And, of course, we will take a quick break, and we'll be back with more rock and roll right here on 105.3 The Bear. Stick around.